What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for another episode of My Team Career Mode. Only a few more episodes to go. The reason I say that you will find out as we progress through this video. But if you haven't seen the last episode yet, the Spanish Grand Prix, as you are looking at right now, it is not one to miss. If you haven't seen it, go check it out first before you get stuck into watching this video, because I tell you, the last race was an absolute cracker. How we managed to get ourselves a top 4 finish on the last lap, I will never ever know. But we can't get too excited because we still got a chunk of this season yet to run. We had a bit of a little bit of a hiccup with reliability in the last race. So with that, we got a bonus 400 resource points for us to spend. So that's actually really helpful for us. So as you saw at HQ, nothing really too exciting. So literally had nothing to do. No upgrades on the car. I don't think so. Anyway, so we're coming in here with basically the same car from Spain. The only difference from Spain and Monaco this weekend is that Monaco is a much higher downforce track than Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona is a high downforce track anyway. I mean, you're running like 30 maybe 40 odd wings. It depends who you are and what kind of setup you're running. You know, that's a moment. That's Rascas hitting the wall on the inside. It's actually quite easy to do around here. There's a few spots where it's literally easy to turn in early and hit the wall with your rear. Rascas being one of them, and the Novel chicane is another one where you can easily go to as well. So we've got our work cut out with us this weekend. Mark showing good, promising results in FP1 using the soft compound tire. I don't know if I was using the softs for a race run or not, but regardless, we get a nice chunk of resource points, and we'll be able to utilize them on some more parts. So after this weekend, we've got Canada, Silverstone, and Austria. And I think after Austria, we skip France and Hungary. We head up to Spa. So what I'm thinking about here, and I'm already thinking 2-3 steps forward, is I'm already thinking, how am I gonna spend these resource points? Well, of course I want to get some upgrades on for the next few races, but really, we do have some downforce upgrades to utilize. But however, I really want to save them, particularly for Zandvoort, because from here on in we don't have any other high downforce shots. I mean, if we had Hungary, we do that, but we don't. So I'm already thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead on what we're gonna do. So now you guys know that I'm already thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead on what we're going to do with upgrades, or what I want to do with upgrades. So as you can see, I forgot to up the AI difficulty. I ran 97 AI in FP1, and I only got us 14. So I don't know how we're going to go. We might just have to do one run in each session to make it fair, because coming into this weekend, I was feeling pretty confident on getting a solid result. Where we end up, I don't know. We end up P8 at the end of our first run. That should be more than enough to get us there. However, I wanted to do another run because cloudy skies, cool track conditions. It's just a perfect appetite to for the track to really ramp up at the lap times to get even faster. So we go P4 with a second flying lap. Weber is down in 17th, sorry. Little under a 10th from Guan Yu Zhou and Oscar Piastri. So he went out, did another run, and he got through into 11th place. To be honest, where we sit with our car and where we are in the performance index, I reckon this is probably roughly where we sit anyway, in all honesty. And as you can see, we've got the intermediate tyres on, So we had a dry Q1. Now we've got a intermediate Q2. Sorry, I nearly said Q3. This is only Q2. So, plan from here on in, or for now, is put more fuel in the car than what we would usually have, and just do laps, because the more laps we do, the more time we'll find, and the more we'll get used to these current track conditions. So 23.5, that's easily going to improve the further we go into this session. And because the more fuel we use, the lighter the car is going to get. So the lap times will improve. Purple middle sector, and we're 7 tenths up as we go through the swimming pool chicane out of Rascas. 9/10 improvement. We're currently P12. It's going to be a mid 22, and we go provisional front row alongside Carlos Sainz. So that is a very much an improvement. We dropped to P4 after everyone else has done their runs. So with 5 minutes to go, we've got enough gas for one more flying lap. So here we go. We're finding more time. We're 5 tenths up as we go into Rascas. Now Anthony knows the final corner. We went purple to the middle sector again. Could this end up getting us provisional pole position? It does! That's the highlight of the weekend. If only it was Q3 though. That would have been rather extraordinary. Provisional pole in Q2. I really wish this was Q3. Mark unfortunately didn't get through. So he'll start 11th. Would have been strategic pole position all those years ago. So he's about a 10th away from Esteban Ocon. Honestly, I don't know what more he could have done. If he judged the conditions perfectly, it would have been miraculous. But it's one of those things where conditions are hard to judge, if you know what I mean. That's a moment. And as I said, it's easy to hit the wall. Or easy for your rear tyres to hit the wall at certain points. And, well, this was one of them, as I mentioned at the start of the episode. So, that lap is ruined. Do have a bit of an old engine on board as well. So, I don't know what more we can do here. The weather is meant to get worse at some point or throughout this session. And we've hit the wall at Saint Devos. So that is not going to help our run. But you know what? We've got 7 minutes in this session. We have to get this run in. We can use this as a banker run, and you can see the front wing damage, how much of an effect it has. So we finished the lap. We came back in with 4 minutes to go. We got that front wing changed, and as we were about to head out, unsuitable tyre warning. So the data is suggesting that we go to full wets, but I don't know if you saw that it's saying that we were 6 tenths slower, or no, not 6 tenths, 2 tenths slower than what Inters would. But you know what? I've decided to take a punt on the wet weather tyres. I really didn't want to, because I felt like the Inters were still the faster tyre. But as you can see, we're 1.3 seconds up as we head into the second sector. Qualifying is now over, so this is our 1 and only run. But as you can see on the leaderboard, we're not the only ones that are using the wet tyres. George, Charles and Esteban Ocon using the full wets as well. Oh, excuse me. Round 18 is now up to the line. 3 second improvement. Where does this put us? I think it was only P9, and it was. So only 4 tenths away though. So if we had put the Inters on, could we have found more time? Could we have gotten ourselves close to the front row? This is the one where I just wasn't sure about, because I don't know what it was. I kind of felt like that the Inters were faster, but I just wasn't sure, because when I went to go out and track the first time, and as you guys saw, it came up with unsuitable tire conditions or whatever it was. So it's one of those moments where you're kind of doubting that, but at the same time, it's like, what else are you meant to do?
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Skip and Esteban Ocon, Webber, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly and Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Alex Albon and Guan Yu Zhou, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Magnussen and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Alrighty then, let's get stuck into this race, shall we? One thing that I'll tell you guys right now, one thing that I actually forgot to do before I started editing this video is that I completely forgot to go back and record some clips. Or when I was going back to go record some clips throughout the race, just to see what the other AI were up to and see what moves happened, I went to theatre and the full race replay wasn't even there. So, but I'm like, no, I could have sworn I saved the replay. But when I went back to look at the footage, as it turns out, I never saved it. I never saved the full race replay. So you won't be seeing many clips in this episode, apart from our onboard vision. But you might see some other clips that I put in, but they would have been from the highlights reel from the whole race. So you'll just have to put up with the cockpit for this race. Lights out, and away we go. Good initial launch against Charles Leclerc, but of course the second phase we do bottom out a little bit up the inside of Charles. No heroics into Sandebot, they say. Esteban Ocon has shown some heroics, and he's went round the outside of us at turn 1. Which is absolutely lovely to see. Now, as you saw, I did underfuel the car a little bit by nearly a lap. However, the fuel consumption in this season has been quite ridiculous as we go up the inside. So I decided to put, I think, about another lap spare worth of fuel on board. So Esteban has to try and look up the inside of Charles. Nothing doing. We push Charles round these couple of corners, and we get back past Ocon as we go around the outside of him at the Lowe's hairpin. So, relatively clean. We've stayed out of trouble. Esteban now gets a good initial run. He goes up the inside. We're going to leave him some space, and we barely make the apex at the Nova chicane, and he tries to come back at us into the back. Not the spot you want to be going side by side, and thankfully we fend off for now. So, eventful, kind of opening 2 sectors, you would say, but now it's just the time to settle into our rhythm. Only one DRS zone around here. There's always been one DRS zone here in Monaco, and that's the front straight. So we'll be seeing a lot of slipstream or DRS trains in this episode as we just find a groove and just basically get our tyres up to temperature, which they would be by now. Honestly, medium to hard is the best strategy around here. The only time you're going to really make moves is either when you're trying to overcut or undercut your competitors. But of course, our pit window doesn't open until like lap 16, 17, something like that. Somewhere close to halfway. I did hesitate to use the softs, but I didn't want to really chance it and getting held up in traffic. But of course, when you do make an early pit stop and you can't get past, it really becomes a nightmare to get past anyone. So honestly, doing this strategy, staying with the AI is the way to go. Had a bit of a nudge with the wall at St. Devon. I've had nudges literally at every wall. So I've looked at the MFD, nothing really came up. As you can see, I'm looking again. That was a brief look through the swimming pool chicane.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Okay, just had to check with Mark there. Lap 16. Honestly, nothing much happened from a lot for the most part of the race. Just staying with Charles. We actually eventually caught back up to it. I think our pace definitely improved. Are we close enough for a move into Raskas? No, we're not. We're going to try and sweep him over around the outside, but he bails out. So does Lewis, and we are going to continue on for another lap. Norris and Verstappen came in as well, and our pit window is actually open right now. So we're going to go around, come into the end of the lap. Now the other thing that the others are going to be struggling with is cold tyres. So while we're going around on tyres that I've done pretty much half the race, our tyres are still relatively warm, but the others are going to have to deal with cold tyres in the first sector. Teammates into the pits as well. Very nice. So off go the hards, on go the mediums. Or not, off go the mediums, on go the hards. Other way around. Up back out onto the racetrack we go. There goes Norris. And I think Verstappen went past as well. But I think we might have jumped Hamilton and Leclerc in the pit stops. That's a big win for us. So we've got ahead of a Ferrari and a Mercedes. But now we're in a Mercedes sandwich, because Russell is ahead of us and Lewis is behind us because we made the overcut work. So that is a big win for us. Top 6, top 5 could still be on the cards, or if we really wanted to, we could just honestly just stay behind George and not be a stupid dickhead and try to make these moves where we really can't. The only places where we can really make moves is we try to go around the outside of the Lowe's hairpin if you can even force your opponent to go defensive, or if you can make a move into Mirabeau and try and hang around the outside of the Lowe's hairpin, that would be the way to go. But honestly, we're just being patient at the moment. We're sticking with George and Lando for now. So honestly, we're just buying our time. 13 laps to go. Honestly, this race has just flown by. Sometimes it does take a long time to get around here, because 78 laps in real life is such a long way, if you know what I mean, let alone 39. So honestly, sticking behind George has basically been the way to go. However, our runs out of Raskas haven't been the greatest here, as you can see. So honestly, this is what we've been doing since the third stop. But as we go through the swimming pool chicane, this is the closest that we've now been to George. Oh, he's locked up and he's made a mistake, and through we go.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Well, Mark was pretty happy with that move, but I don't know. That was the closest we got to George, and as soon as we got that close, he literally shut himself and he made a mistake. So now, top 6, we are at now. Lando is 2 seconds up ahead because, look, to be honest, I kind of, didn't expect George to make that mistake, but we're through, and now we've got Lando right ahead. Now we're actually able to close up really quickly. If we can get past him, then Ricciardo could be on as well. So we could be looking at 2 top 4 finishes in a row here, which would be absolutely incredible in a car that is sort of around the midfield. But as I was saying at the start of the episode, I had high hopes for a decent result here, and it looks like it's going to be on the cards. If we can stay close enough to Lando, we kind of lost a little bit of ground here at the moment, but I still have full faith that we can catch back up. But as I said a few times already, passing or catching is one thing, passing is another, especially around Monaco, where it's literally the most difficult place to overtake. So we could just settle for 6th place and not do anything stupid, which honestly could be the way to go here at the moment. But knowing me, I am pretty desperate, or I can be desperate, to grab whatever points I can get. And in a car, with the car that we have, honestly, it could be the best thing for us at the moment, getting whatever points that we can at the moment. So with a few laps to go, lost a little bit of ground to Lando here. Runs out of certain corners haven't been that great. Raskas, I know, coming out of the Lowe's hairpin and going into the tunnel, it hasn't been that great either. Swimming pool chicane has been our strong suit. Look at that, we've got a great run on Lando. We're going to force the issue up the inside into Raskas. I didn't think that we were close enough, but somehow that was a move that has come out of nowhere. But now Norris has got down as we firmly shut the door on Lando there. Let's see if we can grab a quick replay before we finish off this race. But boy, when Lando came back at me, I firmly shut the door there. I could have left the space for him, because honestly, you want to leave space around here anyway. So we came from a long way back from to back, and we were able to get a mega run through the swimming pool chicane and the move into Raskas. Yeah, that was insane. Let's have another look at it again. Yeah, we came from such a long way back, and how we made that move stick, I will never ever know. On the last lap now, yeah, Ricardo was going to be a bit of a stretch. We would have to cut the chicane and maybe go for a bit of wall riding. But yeah, all in all, it's been a great race for us today. Our top 5 finish I will absolutely take around here. Honestly, not much more that could be said. As everyone knows, Monaco, yeah, it's a great track to race at, but the entertainment can be a bit boring. Yeah, and I think that's why we kind of got today. Especially in that first half of the race, we were just cruising behind Hamilton and Leclerc. But out of the last turn now, it's going to be a top 5 finish in Monaco. A great day for us here today.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Not much more that's needed to be said here. 5th place. I'm not sure where Mark ended up. Driver of the day. Not bad. Yeah, great points for the team again today.
It's the one that everyone wants to win, and they've only gone and done it. What a fantastic result here at Monaco. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today? Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again.
Of course they do it again. They've had the dominant car since day one of the game's release. And honestly, Red Bull and Mercedes and McLaren, who are up there for probably the 4th best car at the moment, but mainly Red Bull and Mercedes just haven't been able to find an answer to Ferrari's dominance. Even after the tweaks that EA and Cody's have made to make Red Bull supposedly the fastest car, it honestly just hasn't worked. So honestly, not much more to be said about Ferrari. So all in all for us, decent points for us today. I think we scored 10 in the end, because it's usually 10 for 5. Mark didn't get into the points, unfortunately. So he only managed 13th place. Honestly, when you qualify, where you are, you usually tend to stay where you are sometimes. But one thing that did catch my eye was that Stroll never made it to the finish. So he apparently DNF'd on the last lap, which caught my eye because I swear we had 22 finishes throughout the whole race. So interesting to see what happened there. I don't know how what happened to him, but we'll find a replay in just a second. But in the standings, we dropped down to 6th in the drivers, and we stay 6th in the constructors. I think 6th is probably where we'll stay for this season. So I think that's where we'll be for the rest of the year. So here's a replay, top right. We stay at 22, and here we go up to the line. We're going to slow things up, and it's 20 or 21, and it goes 21 right as we cross the line. So obviously something has happened as we were crossing the line that unfortunately we didn't even pick up, and I can't even go back to look at the footage because I didn't even save the full race replay, which is kind of stupid to me because I tend to try to remember that from time to time, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So unfortunate, but you guys will just have to wait until the next episode in Canada to see some clips of what the AI were up to. But honestly, a good race from us today. I think we went from 9th to 5th, so we did make moves, but I think even if we did make that move on Lando, I still would have been happy for second. I would have been happy with any points, honestly, especially around Monaco. But when you're in a car and you're not fighting for for championships. You just want to get as many points as you want, and I think that's exactly what we were able to do today. And we really maximised our opportunities and our chances today, which honestly a lot of people wouldn't be able to do, because they and especially with sim damage, that's it was definitely a bonus for us today with you know, with the car that we have. And you know, we're not championship contenders. Getting whatever points that we got was definitely a big win for us. So especially in a team where, you know, we're not, you know, we're roughly in the midfield, but we're scoring, you know, big points. I think probably because we're just driving the thing to the absolute maximum, in all honesty. So honestly, yeah, it's been a great weekend, and this is something that we can definitely look forward to. I don't think we've got any upgrades coming off for Canada. Not that I can think of the top of my head anyway. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you absolutely enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you wanted to see plenty more F1 and racing game content, especially with F1 23 release pretty much right now as this video has been uploaded. But until the next one, I'll see you next time.